Hello. Wasn't really sure whether to do a video or a live stream. Here I am doing a video. I will be posting this across all my platforms. The only difference is there's going to be a tarot and probably an oracle reading at the end of the extended version that I'm going to be putting in my Patreon, just in case you'd like to go subscribe to my Patreon. The energies right now there's no words that can describe the current energies and what a lot of people are feeling, what you might be feeling. Or if you're not feeling it, you might be witnessing people and animals around you behaving strange and erratic. You might also notice that you are behaving in ways that you haven't behaved in a while, that you might be falling back on patterns that are not nice. You might be defaulting to ways of being that are not very pleasant, either on you or the people that are around you. Hence the reason I'm doing this video. It is extremely rough, and yes, this is surrounding the current full moon, which I guess is a supermoon. Also in Aquarius. I don't really know. I don't follow astronomy, astrology. I don't follow any of that stuff, but I do know that this full moon is full-blown, energetically charged and quite intense. I also have pets, and I'm noticing that they are losing their marbles. So I did decide to come on here and put this video out. It might be wise to withdraw a little bit. I'm not going to go into the saga of what I'm going through, but I think I've decided that I need to withdraw. Energetically, I need to withdraw myself a little bit from society, from friends, from engagements in general. Just because it's too much. The energy is so much that I can't handle any more input. That's how intense the energy is right now. But be aware of patterns, be aware of old ways of being, be aware of conflict, be aware of negativity, be aware of situations that will arouse you to behave in a way that's probably not really ultimately the best of you. I guess the energies might bring out the worst in you. The other thing that I wanted to quickly go over outside of the warnings about this current moon and how it's challenging to navigate these energies. I don't even have a description for the energies that we're feeling right now. But somebody in my YouTube, this is for my YouTube people, wrote a comment recently that I did want to address. I don't usually address comments, but this one was worthy of addressing because they suggested that I should dedicate this channel to maybe perhaps, talking about my background, because I'm Saudi, or at least from that region, who escaped Islam, and just focus on that. What I would like to say is that I did have a channel before this one. It was quite big. It was called One Godless Woman. You can definitely go check it out. It's no longer active. I actually do want to delete that channel because that channel ended up with me getting sued. And that's all I'm going to say about that. That channel was mostly about my life and my experience as an ex-Muslim and somebody who lived in Saudi Arabia and who is from that part of the world. I'm half Saudi, half Egyptian. What did happen, which I guess I don't really discuss a lot in this current channel, which I dedicate to spirituality, what did happen to me during the pandemic lockdowns, is I live in Canada, and Canada was one of the most strict countries with lockdowns and mandates, especially the face mask mandates. And if you don't know me and you don't know my history and you didn't follow me, in my life in Saudi Arabia, I was forced to cover my face against my will all my life. And at one point, there was a very traumatic event that happened where I was kidnapped by men, and horrible things were done to me. And whatever that resulted in, it was quite the saga. I ended up in prison. It was horrible. I was sentenced to 80 lashes. It was a very traumatizing event. But what led to all of that was because I was not covered. My face wasn't covered, and I was seen by the religious police, and they started following me, and they kidnapped me, and that sort of happened. And then came COVID here in Canada, and the face mask mandates, it wasn't just the orders from the government, it was the enforcement by society and the shaming that I was exposed to by society. I had situations, of course I manifested these situations because I was reliving my trauma, but nobody understood why I was so against covering my face. I was shamed a lot, I was chased by men. It was really quite the re-traumatization. I'm trying not to make this a drama. I'm just trying to explain something here. I'm trying to get to a point. And that landed me in a spiritual awakening. I ended up having something called a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, and I woke up spiritually. A lot of people don't have any clue, no understanding whatsoever what that term means. When somebody says to you, I spiritually woke up, people are like, okay. They think you're religious. They think something. It's whatever, spirituality means to them, usually tied in with religion. That's not what happened at all. My world shattered. My identity shattered. My ego shattered. The stories, the roles that I played in this life evaporated. I woke up to who I really am. And who I really am is a soul, something greater than this body, greater than Iman, greater than anything. But I am currently living this life in this world, the ex-Muslim who escaped Saudi Arabia. And so I woke up that that's not really who I am, and that was sort of how I decided to come into this world. And I'm beyond being a doctor, which I was. I'm beyond being a massage therapist, which I was. I'm beyond being a political activist, which I was. I do like being spiritual, though, and I do like helping people understand a little bit about the happenings of this world, especially energetically, because I've been always extremely energy sensitive from childhood. And because of that, I was abused, and I was hated, and I was vilified, and I was mocked. A lot of negative things. I was called a black sheep. I was targeted. I was bullied. In many ways, I'm still not 100% accepted in society, and it's not just me. It's most people like me who are extremely energy sensitive, who are empaths to a degree that people can't believe. Like, growing up, people would think that I was putting on a show when I would say that something upset me or devastated me because of how strange that something would be. My connection to animals, a lot of people didn't understand. So this is a very long way for me to say that though I really do appreciate the comment, and I'm very grateful for people who do comment on my channel, and please do, go ahead. But I just wanted to explain that I am no longer that. I no longer identify with a role, with a nationality. There's a part of me that's struggling right now with I call it extremism, that I'm witnessing in Canada specifically and in the West in general. In my part of the world, it was Islamism that I got fed up with, and I really got fed up with, and I just wanted to leave. I could no longer tolerate living in an environment that was so hate-filled, and that was Islamism in Saudi Arabia back then. Saudi Arabia's changed now. And right now, where I'm living, at least under the current energy of this supermoon, I'm really getting fed up with the extremism of the leftism that I am witnessing in Canada, at least in the province that I live in. I've reached my limits. And those limits came they became very apparent to me a couple of days ago while I was at work. And I really am just fed up. I'm fed up with leftism, really fed up with leftism. I'm fed up with all kinds of extremism. I'm fed up with division. I'm fed up with hatred. But I'm really, really upset and devastated, actually, about the environment that I find myself in right now, which still remains a lot safer than my part of the world. But the ideological hostility and the extremism that I find myself in. And it reminds me of the ideological extremism that I experienced in Saudi Arabia just before I left. So, having said all of that, I am trying to remain grounded in love, as difficult as it is, as difficult as the division and just the energy of division, as difficult as it is to navigate right now. It is really important to have channels like mine who try to focus on love, who try to wake people up to the fact that just because we think differently doesn't mean I need to hate you. I'm struggling with it right now, but I wish people would understand why people like me struggle with extremist views. The funny part is, people see me as an extremist because I'm more of center-right, ideologically and politically. But yet I don't force my opinions on others, which is not what's happening right now in the West with a specific group of people who are actually sort of using the law to force their way onto others and force their views onto others. I don't want this to get too political. I'm just trying to say, my channel, as small as it is and as little views as I get, is important, and it does help people. Not many, not yet, but it does help people, and it helps me because it keeps me grounded in love. It really does. And love right now is a little seed that needs to be watered, and it needs good soil to grow. And if that's what I can do to help humanity right now, then that's what I will continue to do. Yes, I am Saudi. Yes, I am ex-Muslim. Yes, I'm all those things. But I'm not. It's not my identity. It's not who I am. That's a very limited version of me that contained me for a long period of time. I loved my story. I loved my trauma. I held on to it for a very long time until I spiritually woke up. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to finish now. And if you'd like to support me and my work, I would be very happy. And I'm going to do a little tarot reading, an oracle reading, and that's going to be uploaded in my Patreon, which will be linked in the description. So careful navigating the current energies. I hope you're doing well. Stay grounded. If you need to withdraw, withdraw. If you need to meditate, meditate. If you want to laugh at this video, go ahead and laugh.